Hello Sagittarius, thank you so much for joining me for the May of 2022 Horoscope with Animal Totem. A lot of astrology going on, we'll get to that in a minute. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Vickieverlie and you can find me at vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. The deck we're going to use today is the Rock and Roll Tarot deck, my own creation. And then we're going to lay on top with the Hanson Roberts deck, an old favorite. And then finally we will pull an Animal Totem card from the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards. If you're a level 2 Patreon subscriber, there's going to be some additional cards pulled from the Light Seer Tarot. So that covers all the decks we're going to use in this reading. Alright, so we're into eclipse season. There's two major astrology events. Well, three. There's a new moon solar eclipse, full moon solar eclipse. That's one. And then there's also the Jupiter Aries happening. So let's talk about that. So here you are. You're a Sagittarius, okay? This is you. Now, the eclipses are going to be happening in Scorpio and in Taurus. However, very often, wherever your sun sign is, you will have planets. If you're a Sagittarius, there's a good chance you might have some planets in Scorpio, and there's a good chance you might have some in Capricorn. On either side of these neighboring planet things, so you could have placements. So you could have to run your chart to find out for sure. You could just order my eclipse reading, and we'll go into it. But long story short, you could absolutely be personally affected. Well, everybody's going to be personally affected, but this Scorpio one in particular, which is happening on the 16th, there's going to be a full moon in Scorpio. That could absolutely be impacting you in a real personal way. It's going to impact everybody. We have the new moon eclipse technically on April 30th, so not in May, but it's going to carry right into May, the last day of April. And then the full moon in Scorpio is on the 16th. And so that's a culmination or a time to release or letting something go. The other big news this month is Jupiter is moving from the sign of Pisces into the sign of Aries. So the sign of Pisces to you is a square. Okay, Sagittarius squares Pisces. So sometimes that may have, in some cases, for some of you, this may have sort of elevated the elevated tension, or you may have come up with some conflicts. Well, it's beautiful because this is a trine. This is a beautiful trine energy when it moves into Aries for you. Because you're a fire sign and so is Aries. This is a very harmonious interaction. So if you have experienced like some butting of heads or these kinds of things, you could absolutely see it alleviated. Also because it's your fellow, I was going to say fellow water sign, but it's your fellow fire sign, you can work in harmony with that Jupiter energy. And Jupiter is considered luck, abundance, fertility. It's just such a good planet to have. I guess the guide's saying we're ready to roll. Okay, so with this Rock and Roll Tarot deck, and really all of the cards that we're going to use today, allow your intuition to speak to you. If you're seeing something that's sort of standing out to you or grabbing your attention, absolutely pay attention to that, because that's the way that the universe and the spirit guides can really give you a message that is just for you in these readings. Well, the inventory stood out to me on this card, but I feel like it's like you taking inventory just of your life. Maybe some of you have to do inventory at work or something. That could be for a few people, but I think it's like you really assessing the situation, taking inventory of your life. And a lot of it may have to do with finances. You do have two tens in this spread, if you notice. You have the 10 of Pentacles and you have the 10 of Rods. So you've been working really, really hard, and you're coming to the end, and your reward is there. There's definitely some money showing up around you. And also that you may be getting some accolades for all the hard work that you're doing. I might put your hard work pays off. And I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I really don't think of Sagittarians as really hardworking. I know many of you are. Your hard work pays off. I just need to write that before I forget. Pays off. Yeah, but I know many of you are. But you think of the, Sagittarius are the happy-go-lucky. They're not always concerned about work. But this is coming into play for sure. These two together are just a beautiful combination. It says you're getting the acknowledgement, the recognition, and then 3 of Rods, your ship is coming in. Spirit has been working with you big time, okay? You've got the star right next to you, and then the temperance here. So there is spirit guides and angels who are working with you and helping you along and have brought these blessings to you. For some of you, it could be quite shocking. This might be quite shocking. Hey, we're in eclipse season. Anything could happen. That's what I got when I looked at this Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a major victory and breakthrough, but I felt like you're shocked by it or surprised by it, like you didn't see it coming. Because some of you might even be in a place where you're kind of in a crunch and you're kind of worried, well, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And then, bam, this big door opens, you know. I'm going to write door opens, because that's important too. Yeah, so you're working hard, you're working with spirit. You want to, you may be going back to something that you were involved with before. With the Hierophant, you could be going back to an old job, going back to an old group of friends. Hearing from people from the past is highly likely. And the other thing is, you know, if you are Sagittarius rising, real quick, this Scorpio stuff's going to be in your 12th house. So that could totally, you know, that makes sense with the astrology too, because that could bring in people or things from the past. Okay. Well, it's funny, I meant to grab the whole deck. I don't know if I should. This looks like the readings from the last card. I don't really want to just throw those out. If it were just one card, I would absolutely incorporate it. But we're going to go in and shuffle these up. Now, you guys are, as I mentioned in the beginning, you are fire sign energy, all right? So, you are going to be represented by the Knight of Rods, Queen of Rods, or King of Rods. Whichever one shows first, that's going to be your card. There's no gender in these readings, so it doesn't matter if you're saying, well, that's not me because I'm the queen. In this reading, you're going to be whoever shows up first, and then we will look at the cards surrounding you. I will not be adjusting every single card in this part of the reading. Only the cards that are around you, you showed up right away. But if any of these other cards show up, that stand out to you, well, you know, definitely pay attention to them, because they could have significance to just you, even if I don't necessarily talk about it. There's a Ten of Pentacles twice. Look at that. Now, it's these, you know, it's funny, these swords have been out. Sometimes these eclipses can kind of kick your butt. I'm going to zoom in a little. See, oops, I just dropped the whole deck of the Animal Totem cards. I'll deal with it in a minute. Well, let me deal with it now, if I don't want to get kicked around or something happen here. Wow. I'm going to put these aside somewhere safe. So we're really kind of just looking at, you know, this top section here. Let me pull it down even a little more. There we go. Everything's falling off the table when I'm pulling this. So here you are. You know, these cards have been out, but sometimes these big eclipses things can happen. You know, things can happen that you didn't see coming. I said that shocking thing in the beginning about how you might be shocked. I'm going to write that down too. Just put shocked. But, you know, if we want new beginnings, sometimes it ends. And here's another 10. So you've got 10 of Rods, 10 of Pentacles twice, and 10 of Swords. So something is coming to culmination. And, you know, the culmination part is usually going to be around that full moon eclipse in Scorpio, your neighboring sign. So many of you probably have planets in Scorpio. But whatever, this is totally the phoenix rising from the ashes right here. Ten of Swords, you're down as you can get, and then you're soaring to the highest. You're the phoenix rising up from the ashes of the Ten of Swords. You see the way to go. You see the way through it. Even though there's trials and tribulations, there's another Three of Swords showing up in here. You know, it could be a bumpy road. You know, it's not like you wave a magic wand and everything's all right. And sometimes when you're going down a new path, getting untangled from the old path can be messy. No matter what it is, if it's a job, a relationship, anything that you've been, you know, all mixed up in that's not really good for you anymore, sometimes it takes some doing to get out of it. I do see money all around you, though. Look at all the money cards, and you've got 6 of Pentacles, you've got 8 of Pentacles, you've got 10 of Pentacles twice. So this is beautiful, beautiful energy. Oh, I'm going to dump these. I have to be very careful with this board. I've already dumped one deck. 8 of Pentacles, doing the work that you really love. That in itself. I mean, if you can find work that you really love and get paid for it, and this is saying get paid what you're worth. Get paid very well for it. Very well with the 2 10 of Pentacles. Now I'm hearing, fairly well, fairly well, fairly well, my da-da-da. For I'm going to Louisiana to be my Susie-Hannah, singing Polly Wally Doodle all the day. You might be singing Polly Wally Doodle all the day, Sagittarius. sorry, that just really struck me funny. But that was the song that came through. I mean, maybe there's more lyrics in it that, I believe Fare Thee Well. I mean, it's like, later, I'm out, bye, you know. So you'll be saying Fare Thee Well. I'm sorry, that song just struck me as so funny. You'll be saying Fare Thee Well. Sorry. Fare Thee Well to stuff that no longer serves you. You know, you're moving on down the road here, Sagittarius, and you don't need that crap anymore. You have support. Because here you are. You have support. There's struggle, yeah, but you have support. You've got somebody standing smack dead next to you. Somebody standing behind you. They've got your back here. This Knight of Swords has your back. That could be an air sign person, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra. I've carried that polyglot deal. It's still cracking me up a little. I'm sorry. They could be an air sign, which includes Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. Or this could talk about time frames again. So we've got a couple events with the Gemini energy. First of all, we've got the Sun entering Gemini on the 20th. So it could be around that 20th time frame. Secondly, there is a Gemini new moon at the very end of the month on the 30th. So could be talking about later in the month as far as time frames, but I do feel for most of you this does represent an actual person. And they've got your back. They're standing right by you. And they've got connections, it looks like. Because we got the, here, keep wanting to say Hierophant, but it's the Hermit and the Emperor with them. They're bringing in the big guns to solve this problem for you or to help you through this. Or give you that recommendation to these movers and shakers or whatever that can really make things happen, okay? Alright. No more poly-volley doodling here. We're going to get up to the animal totem. Oh, I'm sorry. That just is so goofy. It was such a goofy song. All right, let's get this tarot animal totem for you. I'm getting a little loopy. I've been doing readings all day. I think I'm getting a little loopy here. But let's get the animal totem for you guys. This one wanted to come. The bee. Be busy like the bee. But you know what else the bee is? You know what those bees doing? They're propagating those flowers, you know. The birds and the bees propagating flowers. Could be a romance happening here. Could be an old flame even coming back for some of you. Let's read what I initially wrote. Fertility, abundance, creativity, propagation, strong connections to home and family, accomplishing tasks in a timely manner, taking time to taste the sweet nectar of life. Yeah, looks like you will be tasting some sweet nectar, not only in your personal life, but definitely in your financial ways. Looks like some nice energy coming your way, Sagittarius. These eclipses could just bam, 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 knock things out. I'm feeling maybe it's more of this, you know, some of this Gemini energy too. I mean, there's just so many things going on in astrology. Everybody's chart's going to be different. That's why I am offering, real quickly, this eclipse reading. And this will look at your chart, the new moon eclipse and the full moon eclipse, and it looks at, and it will take into account the Jupiter going into Aries and everything else that's going on in astrology. It's a transit, but it's not a report. It's me psychically doing the reading. And then I've introduced also the psychic soulmate reading. People have been ordering it and really liking it, and I like doing them too. It's something fresh and new because I get bored doing the same thing all the time too. But it looks at past lives. I've had the soul readings for years and years where I looked at your past life as an individual. But I've been doing these readings with the two people together, and it's going really well. I wasn't sure if I could do it, but it's working out really well. So if you're interested in either of those or anything that I have, again, my website's vickieverlie.com. Things that don't cost a dime. I know inflation and gas prices, people are, you know, it's been a little tight for some people. Things that don't cost a dime. Liking, sharing, subscribing, hitting that subscribe button. I'm the original YouTube tarot reader, and I still haven't, you know, my subs are not anywhere near what some people's are. But I don't want to compare myself. I'm doing my own thing. But, you know, I did invent this whole thing, you know. Back to this. One more thing. If you have a minute, please listen to my album. It's called Low Key. It's finally out. It's my whole album. And low key, it's because it is low key. I mean, I've been in rock bands and even metal bands and stuff. So this is very much a departure, low key, instrumental, new age, progressive new age, I would say. You know, I've been in a lot of progressive bands too, and I love progressive music, always have. So it's along those lines. It's just 6 songs, a little over a half hour, which I was planning on an EP, but if it goes over a half hour, it's an album. So LP. So Yeah, it's you can find it on all your music platforms. Low key, this is the lowest key on the piano too, so it's a little other play on words there. So those are the things that I have offering. This costs you nothing too to give it a listen. If you like it, put it in a playlist, put it in your favorites. You know, that all helps so much. And I do appreciate all of you who always do these things, and helps me and my channel and everything that I'm doing. So big changes here. You'll be polly-wally doodling, Sagittarius. Remember, you are love and beauty incarnate. Have the best month ever. Powerful changes are happening. We'll see you again next month. Bye.